Hello and welcome to Homeschool Hacks Holiday Edition. We are going to be talking all about overwhelm, you're overbooked, the types of things that occur during the holiday season. I am Sunny. I'm a current Sunlight mom to two kids, and I'm being joined by two Sunlight veterans, Anne and Lisa. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Now,
you.
how would you answer someone who's concerned about packing in all the Christmas memories or any other holiday they might be celebrating and still making time for school? What are the things that they should focus on? How can they make the holiday season memorable? And what do they do if they're feeling just overwhelmed and stressed out?
Well, I think the most important thing is to identify the most important thing. What is it that wouldn't be Christmas or your holiday without X? And that would be like a big rock. So I'm going to make sure that happens. And then you can kind of prioritize the rest of those things and add in what those are as time allows. We loved to ask everyone in our family, like, what is your number one thing? And we made that happen. And then other things that came up, we fit in or didn't fit in as we had time and mental ability, because the mental ability does get stretched during the holiday season.
Yeah, I like to think of it kind of as less is more. Like Lisa was saying, you got to pick and choose. You just can't do it all. And I also think it's important to know your limitations. Like, let's say that, everyone's going to bring a dish, to a family gathering, and you end up signing up for something you've never done before in your life. That's going to be extremely stressful. For me personally, that is baking. I just am not good at it. And so I've over the years, I've kind of pawned that off to my daughter who loves baking. So she's in charge of all of that. So know your limitations and just don't put yourself in a stressful situation to start with, and things will just go a lot smoother. But less is more. And just think about the things that you might want to do, quality time together. And if it's just go, 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 trying to do all of it, it's just so hurried and rushed. So talk with your family members about what their priorities are and what they would enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to echo what these ladies have said, I would say don't do something just because you feel like you should, or you feel like everybody else is doing it, or maybe your mom did it and it was fun when you were a kid, if it's something you're not interested. So, just like what Anne said about baking, if that is not your skill set, don't try to do it. If your friend is doing something that sounds really cool, but you just don't know how you're going to pull it off, don't even try. So for me, I like to look at, yeah, what does everybody want to do? How do I make it easy? And something that's going to fit into our life as opposed to us having to rearrange our entire life around it. And same thing when it comes to hosting a holiday versus going to someone else's house. If you really love to host, maybe that's a good place for you. If you don't like to host, maybe volunteer to bring a dish to someone else's house for a family gathering. Whatever is kind of fits into your personality and what's going to make the holiday celebrations better for you and your kids. What about with school, ladies? If you've got a lot of people coming to visit you, or you're trying to get ready to host a big event, how do you still make time for your homeschooling and your normal life this time of the year?
Yeah, I would say be flexible and take the time off of school that you need to take, because there's just no reason to, like we said before, to try to do all the things. And so just plan ahead. If you are trying to finish school by a certain time, take a look at that, and how you can do that, with taking some time off. Another thing I like to do in busy times is do half days. If you do need to do a little school, just choose half of your subjects to do each day, and then you're doing 2 days in one day over 2 days, which you're still accomplishing things, but that does give you quite a bit of free time during the day. So that's a definite a good option to think about.
And I think it's easy especially if you live somewhere where it's cold, after dinner, just to take 30 minutes and read your read aloud. At least you're making progress without being stressful, and you can turn it into something fun. Have some hot chocolate, put on your jammies, get your cozy blanket, whatever that looks like at your house. And that is progress. And I think that is important to keep in mind. Like Ann said, if you do half days or just any school is progress. You're moving towards the end. But I loved to take time off from the curriculum. That didn't mean we were taking time off from learning, because learning can happen while you're baking or cleaning or serving or all budgeting gifts, whatever that may be. It's still, you could count that as school. We're still learning. We're just set the curriculum aside for a little bit to reduce the stress. I didn't ever want my kids to remember a mom with her hair on fire. I wanted them to remember the time that we spent together, whether it was doing school or doing something else. So I think that goes back to what's important to you. If school during the month of December is important to you, then put that in first and do the other things around it. But I think it's important to realize that there are so many things you can't do them all. Maybe I should have led with that. That's probably a great mindset to start with, and then move forward, with the schooling that is important to you.
Absolutely. And something that I do year round, not just at the holidays, is if I've got 15 minutes, we'll do one school thing. You don't have to have a block of time to do all of your school at once. So if I've got 15 minutes, it's like, oh, well, we can do our Bible today, or our history reading, or read aloud, whatever it might be. You can get something done usually in that 15-minute time block, and then go do whatever activity you were going to do, go to whatever event you were going to do. And then, like you said, Lisa, at night, use your read aloud as a bedtime story. There's so many options for that. That's something we do with the Advent studies as well. I've seen a lot of people ask how to fit those in. We use that as nighttime activities. So it doesn't have to be officially school for it to count. I love what you said about learning happens all the time. Anything else you ladies want to add before we wrap up?
I just think you need to be sure that you as the mom are not feeling overwhelmed, because when the mom's overwhelmed, the whole family's overwhelmed. And just enjoy, because this is a short time in your life and it flies by. And so rather than being stressed, take a minute and downsize, or whatever that looks like in your family, so that you can enjoy the time that you have with your little people.
Absolutely. Take the time to enjoy. Remember to take pictures. That can be something that can be easily forgotten in the rush of all the things. So take the pictures and look back on those. And now that both of mine are just going to be coming home from college for the Christmas break, it just makes you think back, and it's really kind of fun. They come back, and then you kind of see, hindsight's 2020, right? They tell you what the important things are. When they were home for Thanksgiving, Mom, we got to get the Christmas tree up while we're both home. And so someday you'll actually really see what they really value the most. So while you're just in the thick of it, while you're homeschooling, take the time to enjoy it, and enjoy even when it's super busy. It's not going to last forever. So enjoy those times together.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being here. If you need anything at all, drop it in the comments. We would love to come back and answer that later. And have a very Merry Christmas, or whatever holiday you're getting ready for when you watch this video.